Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 53 of Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking in everything surrounding sports. This week's a big one here. College football is still with us here, but 1 week until the NFL season, and we are wrapping up all our preparations for that here this week with some Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and so on. But lots to look forward to here this week on the show. Let's start off by introducing my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you here this week. What do you got for us?
Yeah, ready to go in here. Football is just around the corner. My Red Sox, I'm repping the hat for at least one more week before we potentially slip out of the playoff conversation. So MLB still got it on the back burner, but you know what time it is. So I'm excited to get going on the league here. Got some excitement coming from my Patriots camp with Drake May and all the noise he's making. A lot of great stuff going around the league. So ready to get going here on another week.
Heck yeah, good stuff. Mackie, let's shoot it over to you here next. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I got some good college football this week. Obviously, Penn State, West Virginia. I think you two are going to be in attendance for that, Huff and Jesse. So that'll be nice. Some other good games as well. But we're just looking forward to football, NFL starting up in a week.
Heck yeah, we'll definitely touch on some of the good college football games here this week for the last weekend of August. Huff, let's finish it off with you here before we jump into this week's episode. What do you have?
Yeah, like Mackie said, I had to make sure my mic wasn't muted there. Like Mackie said, college football. Obviously, we got our little appetizer of it last weekend with the 4 games. Florida State goes down in obviously a classic to start off the college football season, an upset just to get us right started off right where we left off. Obviously, super gassed up for college football starting this week. Like you said, a couple of huge games. I have a game on the slate that we'll get into that I really like. It is not in that Penn State West Virginia game. I was a little bit disappointed. I still can't find something I love on that game. I'm looking for, obviously, I think West Virginia with the points. Mackie, we'll talk about that when we get there. But I have a couple plays this weekend in college football. I love. Didn't do too great last week, but hoping to bounce back, and that's the beauty of it. We just keep on rolling.
I'll tell you what, I'm just happy that you guys got college sports back to give me a nice bankroll on because I love just following it blindly, and I'm like, wow, the boys are pretty fucking good at this. So let me just cash in.
I sent you 2 losers last week.
What did I say to? What did I say to Mackie though? The craziest shit happens, and he's like, "Yeah, that's why you're betting on teenagers,
college some 18-year-olds.
Yeah, some crazy shit. So hopefully, you just got to be on the right side of that stuff. But
some of them, I mean, some of them, what they get paid now, they're basically pro athletes.
Yeah, 18, 19 years old.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff, boys. Don't forget about our live streams coming up each and every Sunday, the NFL season, 10 a.m. Eastern, going over our favorite games of the week and our best bets and so on. But let's jump into this week's episode here. Starting out, we have a little starting segment here. Top 3 NFL stadiums that you'd want to see a game at that you haven't already, similar to what we did last week with college stadiums, but curious who wants to get us going here. Top 3 NFL stadiums you want to see a game at. Huff?
I'll start us out here. I'll just throw a little caveat in there. I've been to Green Bay, Buffalo, Miami, and Pittsburgh, and Dallas. So those 5 will not be on my list. The ones that I do still want to see, an honorable mention is going to go to Soldier Field in Chicago. I do really want to get out to a Bears game at some point. But my top 3 is going to consist of the one dome that I really want to see very badly up in it's close between Vegas and Minnesota, but I'm going to give it to Minnesota. They hosted the Super Bowl a few years ago. That stadium from the outside looks pretty crazy up in Minneapolis where the Vikings play. Number 2, what do I want to do here? I don't know. It's tough. Do I go to my? I've number 1 is my Seattle Seahawks up there. Ever since I was younger, I always want to get to a Seahawks game. Number 2, I'll probably throw in Vegas there. I guess instead of just working out that tie, I'll go Minnesota 3, Vegas 2, Seattle number 1. That's the one I want to get to the most. Another honorable mention's Indianapolis. I've heard that's a very nice stadium, Lucas Oil out there, but Mackie, Ace, I'm interested to see what list you guys came up with here.
Yeah, Huff, you're just dying to be that 12th man and make a difference on the field, aren't you? It's the closest you're gonna get to being in on the action. But I mean, if you can get like Gardner Minshew pretty rattled up there from like the upper decks, then I don't blame you. I like that Lucas Oil mentioned too. I don't have them in my list, but it's a very picturesque stadium. It's a cool dome. I feel like it's one of the older domes now. I don't know. They're getting newer and newer.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the older ones.
But yeah, I can get into my list here.
Peyton Manning played his whole career in that stadium.
Yeah, and there's just so many classic moments from it. I like how they have that glass on the outside too, like that big, yeah, you know what I mean? kind of almost like
Yep.
AT&T. We knocked off AT&T last year, so that one's off my bucket list. I think that would have been near the top of it, Jerry World. But I'll go 1 through 3. At number 1, I'm going to go with Vegas. I think everybody might have that in their top 3 just because that atmosphere, all the money that's pumped into the stadium, the theatrics, and the product on the field actually isn't that great, but the stadium itself and the town is just awesome. At number 2, I'm going to go with Arrowhead. I just think that place would be rocking, kind of probably similar to your Seattle 12th man pick. I think they passed them for loudest stadium in the
They
NFL.
did, yeah.
So I just think that would be insane to experience, especially imagine a Mahomes Kelsey connection, how loud the decibels get in that stadium. I think that would be a fun one to see. And then at number 3, I'm going to go with the Mercedes-Benz stadium there, the one in Atlanta. I think that's a very cool stadium. And then you see all the great prices they have for food and drinks as well. So I just feel like it'd be a great time. And they have a cool team put together down there. So a lot of different ones, but mine are all new type of stadiums. Nothing classic like Lambeau or Soldier, like you mentioned.
Ace, I have a pretty similar list to you.
Go ahead,
I'm
Maggie.
interested here.
Yeah, I'll go Acrisure 3. I think obviously with everything they have going on over there, I'll go with them at 3. I'll go Arrowhead 2. I think Kansas City would be rocking, especially with the team they have right now, Pat Mahomes. And I'll go Lambeau 1 just because of the Cheeseheads and the
Lambeau's sick, dude.
Are you
That's
saying
the-
Lambeau in the wintertime? Like it's got to be snowing, right?
yeah, of course. It's got to be the whole atmosphere and the full experience.
Yeah.
When we went up there, it wasn't snowing. It was cold as fuck, but it wasn't snowing. It was just windy as fuck. We had like back level of the first bowl, and the whole stadium's like one bowl. It's weird, but like we had really good seats, but we were in the back row, like the way the stadiums works out, because like
It was
there's what-
boxes behind us.
boxes or the press box or something. I don't know. Lambeau's so sick, and the whole vibe around the stadium, like all that. It's like smaller than I think Green Bay, like from what I remember and saw, Jesse, I felt like I was walking around Morgantown going to a WVU game.
We parked in a neighborhood.
We parked in a
We
guy's
parked in
front
front
yard.
of
and gave him-
I love going to pro sports games
When I
where you
went
can
to-
park in somebody's neighborhood with like the $20 sign, like, hey, over here, 25.
Yep, he's like pull it in my backyard. I'll be here all day.
You're like,
It's like I parked in my Penn Township house. That's the
and it's
problem.
like the thing is, it's like, yeah, you probably will be there all day watching the game, so I trust you to watch my car. Plus, you're
Yeah.
hanging out with the owners of the football team as you walk into the stadium. It's the only
Yeah.
place you can do that.
right.
Another one that I've always wanted to get to is 49ers, that new Levi's.
I was
stadium.
gonna say that. I was
Levi's
gonna say
probably
that's
fire, but then you got to go up to San Francisco. What about SoFi? I'm surprised nobody had that on their list.
I had SoFi
on my
right
list
on the
here.
outside as well.
SoFi, Allegiant, and Lucas Oil.
I feel like
Lucas Oil had the
SoFi-
retractable roof.
Hot take. SoFi, I feel like could be one that you'd want to see something other than football at. Like they have a lot of different events. Aren't they bringing like Olympic or World Cup stuff there too?
We'll have soccer there. They're one of the soccer.
Yeah,
stadiums.
well, they're getting in trouble for the World Cup stuff because they don't want to make the field bigger.
Right.
So there's probably not going to be any Olympic soccer at SoFi.
Oh, if you said the Hard Rock in yours, right? Like Miami, is it still called the Hard Rock or Sunlight?
We've been there.
We've been there. That's what I said is one of mine that I've been to. I've been to Dolphins, Steelers, Packers, Bills. I'm forgetting one. Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. How can you forget that one? That was a good stadium. Tough game to see, but got Mac Jones out the door. Helped us get
Tough for you.
helped us get Drake May. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise.
Here's ones I don't like personally. For me, like I don't care to see like Cleveland at
Jacksonville.
all.
I'm gonna go to Jacksonville because like I'm gonna go to a Jacksonville game. I don't know why. I know I'm gonna go to that stadium, but like I have no intent to see that stadium.
My parents have friends that live in Jacksonville, and they always tell me, they're like, "Come down, bring your friends, and go to a Jags game." I'm like, it's not that nice of a
No.
stadium, but
No.
Yeah, Jacksonville, the city's kind of whack too. But that was the owner that wanted to move him to Europe, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's why they kept going to London. That's why they still go to London every year.
Here's one that you and Jesse would never say, but you know, it'd be a really cool stadium to go see a game at is M&T Bank at night.
I knew he was gonna say M&T.
M&T at night's probably
Yeah.
pretty electric. Same with the Link. That
they-
would be like the Link too. I feel like those two are just like
I have no desire to go there. We just
would
did
rather go to-
WrestleMania there. That stadium is atrocious.
I'd rather go to every other stadium than go to the fucking Link. I
the
swear.
Link
Yeah,
is
it's
probably no, but the
big city.
atmosphere is probably insane though.
I'd rather go back to Buffalo, which is literally the biggest shitbox ever.
Although
Yeah.
this is a college stadium.
Yeah, it is.
It's worse. Ohio State has a nicer stadium than
Hopper,
Buffalo.
Jesse, which one are you taking? The Link or M&T Bank? You got to go to an away game.
I'm gonna take
I'd-
M&T over
I'd
the
probably
Link.
go to Baltimore before I go to Philly for a game.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
100%.
No batteries at Santa for
Just
you.
only because there would be that many. If I'm going to if I'm rooting for the away team, because I'm not going to root for the Ravens, I'd have to go to a Steelers Ravens game because there would at least be 10,000 Steelers fans.
Yeah,
there.
it'd be a good one. Yeah. Huff though, Arrowhead on his list. He's not a big Mahomes guy. I think Mackie and I are the Mahomes car
I don't know.
guys.
That's another one. There's nothing special about the stadium, like around it. It's in the middle of a fucking parking lot. The only thing it's next to is the Royal Stadium.
A lot of Lombardis there though.
Yeah.
You know, Mackie doesn't
It's
get
more
to see those too often.
You go there to see what's on the field. You're not going to
Yeah,
Vegas.
it's a whole different. Yeah, I'm not seeing
Yeah.
Minshew mania hook up with Jacoby Myers for 3rd and 18 for 7 yards, but I'll go see Travis Kelce shuffle pass from Mahomes or something behind the back.
Like, I didn't think what I was pretty surprised, Jesse, when we were walking through Hard Rock. I was like, this place has hosted Super Bowls.
Yeah,
and all these huge events, soccer, everything. I'm like,
and it's just concrete.
Place is kind of a shithole, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, they don't
It's
put
a
their
concrete
stadiums
jungle.
in great spots in South Florida. That's the thing.
Oh, that stadium's a nightmare to get out of, dude. It took us 4 hours to get home.
Yeah.
That was so bad. I forgot about that.
I'll never go to
I've
another
only
Sunday
been
night.
I've only been to the
game
old
ever.
Dolphins Stadium, Sun Life Stadium, no roof, just bacon in the sun. Yeah, that was brutal. Orange seats. It was kind of electric though.
Orange seats.
Yeah.
Another one I forgot is Tampa Bay, but it wasn't cool.
Yeah,
enough
I
to be in
think
my
that'd
top
be a
three.
cool one. I think that's like a.
They have a cool stadium. They got rid of the ship and shit.
That's
though.
the biggest downfall. Like if they still had that, it would make my list. Right?
They don't have the fun
Raymond
stuff
James
anymore.
Stadium was the ship.
Asa, I always said Gillette was one I always wanted to go to.
Yeah, Gillette's just in the
Or they
middle of the
moved the
woods.
ship or something.
Well, I was gonna say, was the ship
Well, that's
there
a
when
nice
Brady won the Super Bowl with the
Yeah.
Bucks? Yeah. See, that's
Yeah.
electric. I feel like that's one of the most realistic ones to go to as well. A lot of the ones we called out, like SoFi, maybe Mercedes Benz. I just think that the food for that price is crazy. So you can get like a shit ton of food for like $18. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're probably paying for
That
the
is
rest of
cool.
it in your
The thing
ticket.
about the thing about those big domes is like if you're not sitting on, even if you are sitting on the first level, like my uncle went to New Orleans a couple of times to see he saw Joe Burrow when he was on LSU in the semifinals beat Oklahoma, and it was in New Orleans or Atlanta, one of those Mercedes Superdomes. And he said he had his seats were like section 136, and he was like, "Dude, you're 50 yards from the sideline." Like that's how big that stadium is, and like how far out it goes, because there's 5
Where's that
levels. I don't know if it was Atlanta or New Orleans. It was wherever Burrow beat Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma.
It's got to be
Atlanta.
Yeah,
In
it's
the
got to be
semifinal.
Atlanta because New Orleans, they're not hosting games there. It's too old. That's a hurricane.
And it's LSU. And it's LSU. You're right. It wouldn't have been in
It's
New
a hurricane
Orleans.
shelter.
That's a home game for LSU too. That wouldn't have been in New Orleans. It was definitely Atlanta.
I
He was
would-
like,
I
dude,
would
you were
wanna
so
go
far from the field. Like you can spend $500 on tickets, and you're still like, holy shit, we're far away.
A mile away.
Nola
Just because the stadiums are so big. Like Jesse, you've been to SoFi. Like it has to be the same way.
Huge. Yeah, you're everything's kind of over top of each other, and the screen's so big, like you're looking
You
at
just watch the screen, dude. When we were
Yeah.
in Dallas, I didn't even look at the field. I watched the screen the whole time.
right.
I didn't look at any of it.
I paid $250 to watch it on Jerry's jumbotron.
Yeah, but that's what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It would have been better if Ferguson would have scored the first touchdown, but Pacheco
We
made up for it later.
could keep going all day. I think I would find a way to make it where I'd want to go to almost every stadium.
Yeah, like I said, next we can
Bottom
do ones
three.
we don't want to go
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Awesome stuff, boys. Like I said, NFL season kicks off Thursday, September 5th, with the Baltimore Ravens heading to Kansas City to take on Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. By the time you listen to this episode, we're already just 1 week away from the start of the NFL season, and we're ready for it more than you know. With that, let's jump into some of our headlines here for the NFL. One of the wide receivers seeking a new deal received just that. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb agreed to terms on a 4-year extension worth $136 million with $38 million signing bonus to keep him in Dallas. Mackie, is Dak next? What do you think?
It's a bag. That's all I'm gonna say. Either Dak or Mike is next, but one
Do
of
you think
them
they'll
gotta
do
get
it?
paid.
Do you think they'll do it before the season starts?
No shot. Jerry
Does
basically already
Dallas?
said that.
Does Dallas do deals during the season?
Jerry, I don't think so. I doubt they would.
Like
I
the
don't- I don't
Steelers, the
believe
Steelers
it.
always have. They say they have a hard cutoff. As soon as the first game kicks off, we're done with extensions till the end of the year.
I think Dak is gonna need to prove himself this year. I think he's definitely on a.
Dude, if he has a good year, he's gonna get $55 million, $60 million a year. Like
Huff
wants
wants
to
to
say
say
New
New
York
York Giants so badly.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's where I think he's gonna go is the Giants.
that Mackie would,
That would
But-
be brutal.
Mackie would throw up.
No,
in
he
his
wouldn't
mouth.
go. He wouldn't go in division. He would probably go to Vegas if anything.
That's what I was
I think
thinking.
Vegas
Mackie,
or
I was thinking
Giants.
the
I
same
said
exact
both
thing.
of
I
those.
said Vegas, but I could see if there ever was a time of someone getting a midseason contract, it'd be Micah Parsons. But let's go back to that CeeDee Lamb conversation a little bit. I mean, he deserves to be paid like one of the top receivers in the league. He's number 2 now, right?
Yeah, behind Jefferson.
Yeah,
But
and
the
that's how
highest
I
signing
rank.
bonus for a
That's how we rank.
non-quarterback ever.
That's kind of how we rank wide receivers. I know you could say Tyreek Hill's ahead of them. You could argue that, but he's also over 30 years old. These guys are a lot younger. Like these two deserve to be the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. Kind of makes the Amon-Ra St. Brown contract look a little bit better in my opinion too, because he's not as high up on the leaderboard anymore. But CeeDee Lamb, we knew he was getting paid. That's who I would have paid first as well. He's just a dynamic game changer, and I still don't think we've seen the best from him, which is crazy after last season. He's just going to continue to do his thing there, and that's why I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win their division this year. But a big piece to lock down going into this year, because we know how those wide receivers can get, a la Jamar Chase and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, did you see the thing with Jamar Chase today? He showed up to camp 15 minutes, or he showed up to practice 15 minutes late, and then he was in street clothes and didn't practice.
Yeah, Zach
didn't
Taylor has
participate,
some
yeah.
tough
Yeah.
comments on him.
He
Mac,
said he spoke too soon.
Mackie, did you see there was another signing by the Cowboys? I know they just gave that bag to CeeDee Lamb, but they brought in Dalvin Cook. It's the
Cook.
retirement
Dalvin
home in the
Cook.
backfield. They're going to be feeding Zeke. You're going to see Dalvin Cook rolling. But, I mean, it's low risk, high reward. It's like your Russell Wilson play up in
That's-
Pittsburgh.
That's basically it. You have two washed running backs behind a really good offensive line. I mean, if you balance the workload there, I think there could be some success. But I mean,
feed Zeke. Give him the full workload with the weird spaceship alien helmet.
Committee. It's a full committee. There's no way that they're going to.
Deuce Vaughn's going to be seeing snaps.
Ace, I
Yeah.
saw on that Ghetto Gronk page, the Cowboys just won the 2019 Super Bowl. And it was like after they signed Dalvin Cook, it was
It's like, 2017. Oh, Dalvin Cook
washed.
times Ezekiel Elliott. They're going to go for the rushing title, huh? But, I mean, I think Zeke looked good. I haven't seen Dalvin Cook look good in years. I don't know about you guys. Ever since he left Minnesota, he's been brutal.
Dude, is it just me, or when those random running backs go to Baltimore, they just
die. That's where you go to die.
They die in Baltimore. Yeah.
That's where you go to die. And I don't think I think Derrick Henry will change the tune, but if it did happen, then I guess that's going to have
He's
to
so
be the
good, he
strat.
should. But yeah, if he dies, he'll be the last running back to sign with Baltimore.
Latavius Murray was one of the recent memory. There's a lot more.
Le'Veon Bell, that was his last final stop.
Yeah, but Le'Veon Bell was.
But even
Baltimore.
Dalvin Cook with the Jets, he wasn't good there either. I think Zeke actually showed some promise last year in New England. I think with a much better team, much better O-line, much better scheme with all the pieces that they have, he'll have a pretty successful season. I'm going to be excited to take the value on his touchdown props, because he's going to get into the end zone early and often this season.
I forgot that when Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets literally last year, that was like huge news.
That was 2 years ago, no?
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was when
I think it
Rodgers
was.
got there.
I think it was
Because
2
when
years
Brees
ago.
Hall got hurt and he was out for the season, then Dalvin Cook played for a bit.
I'm gonna look that up. I thought it was last year when they got Rodgers.
They might have brought him in midseason, but I thought he was there for a couple of years. Mac, it's a funny thing though, full circle moment. You wore that Zeke jersey to the Patriots Cowboys game last year. You had to throw on who'd you get, Lamb or
last year.
Parsons over it? And,
Parsons.
yeah, now you gotta break that Zeke jersey back out. It fits just the same.
Feed
Different
him, man.
number.
Feed
Is
him.
he 15
Yeah,
there?
it is a different number. Yeah, he went back to his college number.
Yeah, he likes 15. He looked good though. I'm telling you, you're gonna get some good production out of him for cheap.
We'll see. Let him prove it real quick.
Jerry Jones probably gave him a $250,000 signing bonus to pick a different number so everyone had to buy a new jersey.
Is Mackey shaking in his boots that he didn't choose a CeeDee Lamb jersey over Micah Parsons? Now he's got to await that contract extension.
Parsons
Who knows
ain't
if they
going
go already?
anywhere. Micah's not going anywhere.
Parsons is the one that wasn't going anywhere. Now, like this deal makes me think, like, all right, they
Dak's
picked
gone.
CD. Yeah, I think like Mackie said, Dak's gonna have a prove it year, and then if he does good, he's gonna get the bag from Vegas or the Giants or one of those.
But
teams.
it's not going to be 5-pick Trey Lance that
I think the
supersedes him.
Cowboys are totally fine with locking up those guys and then testing if there's next year's a great draft class for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree, and they need one. They thought they could have struck gold with getting that late pick for Trey Lance, but it turns out he's really just not him.
Relax. It's one game. It was a preseason game.
He hasn't had anything.
It's
notable.
not. That's Trey Lance is not your answer. My
Yeah.
friend.
We'll see. I wouldn't mind going to him.
Oh God! Somebody clip that.
I'd take him over both of your quarterbacks.
I
What,
would
dude?
not. I
Why
would
is there
not.
so much Drake May hate? He's gonna be great. He's a top
Drake
rookie.
May hasn't
pick.
even been announced a starter yet.
He doesn't need to be. I would hope he sits first because I want him to develop. What's he going to do? Lead this team to the Super Bowl? We saw what CJ Stroud did. If he even came to half of a CJ Stroud season, he's not doing it with this team.
More of a Bryce Young.
Oh God, no, he's definitely better than that. You wait and see. I like you writing them off. Trey Lance over there. Jeez, dude, settle down.
Lots of good stuff there on the Cowboys, but let's move it over here to the Cleveland Browns. Their running back Nick Chubb will miss at least the first 4 weeks of the season after the team designated him to the PUP list. Is Cleveland a threat in the AFC North here this year? What are our thoughts?
Yeah, because of the defense, yeah, they're still a threat. I don't think Nick Chubb's going to come back like he did anyway, but I think he's still going to be, I guess, impactful. But I mean,
I agree with your
he's coming
point
off the
exactly.
MCL, ACL. I mean, that's a really tough injury to come back from, especially a running back like him.
Didn't his leg like snap?
Yeah,
Dude. I mean,
you want to know something though? I agree. All right, so I agree with the first point Mackie said. They're going to be in contention no matter what, just because of that defense, regardless of who's toting the rock for them. And they have good options on the outside and up the middle with David Njoku on the offensive side of the ball. Sean Watson should be healthy. I am happy that he's taking these 4 weeks off, not from a fantasy perspective. I have him in a keeper league, and I'm a fan. I want to see him on the field. I think he's a top running back. We all agreed if he was fully healthy, he's a top 5 running back nowadays. But I do think this gives him a better chance to be healthy for when it matters. We've seen guys like Joe Burrow, other positions, all positions, rush back too early, and then you're not really ready. Give him those extra 4 weeks, and hopefully he can get back up to full speed. Because if he is healthy, then I think they're a big force to be reckoned with if he can get back to the way he was. Do you think a healthy Nick Chubb is a huge piece to the puzzle? I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. I just don't think Deshaun Watson's good, so it's going to have to be the defense.
I don't think we'll see a Nick Chubb like we have in the past.
Remember Jerome Ford last year when he stepped into the role? He actually looked pretty good.
I was going to say they don't need much from the running back position. I mean, Flacco, was on a Linsanity run, for lack of a better term. It wasn't that crazy, but no one expected him to step in and do that when Watson went down, especially with the pieces. Chubb's already out. They didn't have
good
half
O
the
line
receivers
though.
that they're bringing
Good
in
O
this
line
year.
helps.
Yeah, it's that defense. It's just like the Steelers.
But they have one of the best O lines on paper. The Browns. One of the
Wills.
Yeah. They have Treader.
Who else do they have? Yeah. They still have him.
I think they have a few other good guys too.
I'd say they're up there.
Yeah,
I'd say they're up there.
So that's why Jerome Ford will find success. They added on the outside too, so you got to hope Watson can do more through the air. But that defense will keep him afloat until they get Chubb back, and I really hope he's good. On a side note, did Kareem Hunt sign anywhere? Is he still kicking around in the league?
No, he's a free agent. I don't know. But back to what you were saying about what they added on the outside. I never thought Jerry Jeudy was anything special. I don't think that's that moving of a needle.
But for
I
a
don't think
three?
that moves the needle for the Browns.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know. I don't think it's huge, but
I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's just
yeah.
nothing
I
crazy.
agree. It's not a bad move.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I don't think it
I'm more
changes much
interested in
anything.
Amari Cooper and David Njoku for that offense. I think those are going to be the focal points until Chubb's back in the mix.
I took Cooper in fantasy. I wouldn't mind him having a nice year.
Njoku slept on tight end in the NFL. I think he's got the potential to be top 8.
Ever since he burned his face, he hasn't. I feel played every game like he used to be.
No,
an
I
every
think
game
he played.
player.
I think he started playing better last year after
Yeah,
that.
last year was his best season in a while. Second half of the year, especially with Flacco, I believe he started popping off even more.
It's because that fucking pedophile Deshaun Watson doesn't throw him the ball.
Worst contract in the league in recent history, at least.
Yeah. Glad it wasn't me.
Already more on the Browns here later, but the Kansas City Chiefs have agreed to terms with wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster to bring him back to Kansas City. Juju joins a receiver room with Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and now Juju. Is this receiving core enough for Mahomes and the Chiefs to possibly three-peat?
Yes.
It's absolutely
yes.
perfect for Mahomes to three-peat. This is exactly what he needs. Receivers like this. This is what he's made work his entire career. Obviously he had Tyreek Hill for the first few, but just having Kelsey and then having your little
gadget
underpaid,
receivers.
not even
Gadget
underpaid,
receivers.
like,
I was just going to say
exactly.
that.
Exactly. That's exactly what he needs. But Rashee Rice, he's in a lot of legal trouble, so I don't know if he's going to be playing this year.
I think he's suspended for a few weeks to start the year. And then they have the rookie on the outside. I'm excited to see him play with that team. What's his name? Little speedy guy.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
Xavier Worthy.
yeah. He should be able to make an impact right away. They still have guys like Sky Moore on their roster. A lot of old pieces. I thought they should have kept MVS. I guess he got a little bit more. Where did he go to Buffalo? But Kadarius Toney out, Juju in. I think this is the only place Juju would have had any type of success. So good move by both sides, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you said. I think this was his only option, or it was sign a 1-year deal, get as much money as you can, and your career's probably over after that.
He's going to make an impactful catch, whether it be on primetime TV in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl. But you know that he'll get his looks going
He's
that way.
always hurt too, so you got to keep that in effect. Like
What about Tony out?
Hollywood Brown and Juju are both always hurt. That's the other thing.
I'm so hyped for Hollywood Brown. I think he's gonna have a great season.
That's why I took him. I was like, what? Let him go off at Pat Mahomes.
If he's ever gonna boom, like I think at worst he'll be a solid receiver, like flex play in fantasy. But he has the potential to boom. They always talked about that when he came into the league, and now with the best quarterback in the league, I'm expecting fireworks. But yeah, I just think it's a great move by them to get Tony out, though. That's one that was much needed.
Ace, with those booms, we're gonna have to call the Costco guys.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You just gave us 2 booms for Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I don't know. Costco doesn't ring a bell with me too much because we don't have that here in New England, Rhode Island especially.
You don't know the Costco guys? Oh my God, this guy lives under a rock.
Yeah, you really don't know who the Costco guys are?
Negative.
I wish I didn't know.
You don't know the Rizzler?
Oh, that little fat kid?
Yeah, dude.
Who he hangs out with.
How do you know the Rizzler?
Is that his dad?
No.
Becky, send him a video right now.
Oh my God, you gotta
seen
educate
one.
yourself.
I think I saw
that,
something on. I think I saw Big Cat breaking down like who they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Like,
Becky, send him like a nice 5 boom fucking.
Oh, dude, I gotta
Chicken
find
bake.
it though.
All right, that's enough about these fucking losers.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
but
Let's stay on track here in the NFL. Enough with Kansas City there. The Pittsburgh Steelers and head coach Mike Tomlin have officially announced that Russell Wilson will be the team's starting quarterback for this season. What does Russ have to do to take this team to the playoffs? Huff, what do you think?
I don't think he has to do much different than what I mean. This offense was led last year by 3 quarterbacks, none of which are on the roster anymore. Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph, all backups. Tomlin figured out a way to get 9 wins. It's really just the health on the defensive side of the ball. I'd love to have Minka stick around for 16, 17 games this year. TJ Watt, obviously, same thing. I'm excited to see Herbig and Highsmith. They said Highsmith hasn't been having too great of a training camp. Looking for Herbig and Peyton Wilson. I like a lot of the pieces we have on this defense. I think the defense will do enough. I think they'll end with 9 wins, and they'll be in that picture. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of good teams in the AFC that are going to be sitting right around that wild card picture, but I think the Steelers will at least be in that picture with 9 wins.
yeah, that's a good glass half full approach to look at it with the way Russell Wilson's performed so far in his Steelers uniform, albeit in the preseason. But let me give a different spin of this story here. Huff, I think it's pretty crazy that defense was able to pitch that many great games last year and get you guys to the playoffs with subpar quarterback play. You're making it sound very easy to get into the playoffs again with subpar quarterback play, and I don't think they're going to be able to. I think they're going to be right there in the mix like they always are. They're going to be floating around 500, but I think that there's a little bit stronger AFC this year. The AFC East has a lot. AFC South, every team is relevant, and then you got the Chiefs on the outside, and then tough division for yourselves. They're going to have to get some support from that quarterback position to be able to get to the playoffs this year. They can't just mosey around, use multiple guys, and just backdoor their way in through a great defense. I think someone's going to have to step up. I don't think Russ is going to be cooking. You heard it last year. What do I think Russ is cooking? He's cooking slop out there. But I think they should get Justin Fields out there. He's going to see his looks at some point. But I think with that makeshift O-line, I know you've got new pieces to it. I think Justin Fields is going to make up for a lot more than Russell Wilson.
This guy's a big Justin Fields fan. I mean, I don't love Russ either, but I just don't think going to Justin Fields is going to be the answer.
I think you get the same record with either of them. I just personally, with the pieces that we have for Armuth, Pickens, I'd rather see still a passing style offense because we do have pieces. I know we don't have great receivers right now. They'll figure out a way with one of these guys will step up. Obviously, I think Van Jefferson was a good addition. Not a great number 2, would have been a nice number 3 if you would go get a Brandon Ayuk or one of those guys, but even anyone you could slide in at that number 3 or number 2 spot. But Tomlin said today, you're going to see your packages with Justin Fields. Be ready for X amount of run plays or run packages or Justin Fields.
How quickly
packages
do
per
they
week.
scrap the Russell Wilson extravaganza?
Dude,
if it's not going
if he
well.
beats Atlanta, our schedule's so light to start. If he gets through Atlanta, we go to Denver and then we have a home game. If there's a serious scenario, we could start. I don't know I'm not.
I remember you when you went through the schedule. Yeah,
there's a serious chance the Steelers could start out 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, right around there. I know 2-1 isn't anything crazy, but if they're 3-0 and he's playing consistent, yeah, it's going to be a lot harder. And like what they've also said is it's a lot easier to go from Russell Wilson to Fields than it is to go from Fields
I agree with
to
that.
Russell Wilson.
I like that take. But here's the one thing I have to pose to you: if they start 1-2, or God forbid 0-3, will they be quick to pull the plug? Will Russell Wilson get time to work through his growing pains like he did in Denver? Because we know he was terrible in the first season. Last year he started off cold and it took him a while to get hot. Or will they flip
And
that script?
then they went 7-1 in 8 games.
That's what I'm saying. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers, with high expectations, will they be willing to wait out the poor play at the beginning before flipping the switch to Justin Fields? I don't think so.
That's tough to
Schedule's
say.
too light. Schedule's too light to begin with. You have to win those early games.
They've never been in a scenario like this where you have two of the exact same skill level quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like even last year, like I know Pickett sucks, but like Pickett was better than Trubisky.
Yeah.
Like
it was like choosing between Trubisky and Rudolph. It was like choosing
Yeah.
But it's a whole different game. I just think that Justin Fields makes up for a lot more downfalls that you have in the wide receiving depth chart in offensive line woes, personally. But I think we'll see both this year. I think we'll see both.
I'm so pissed they haven't gotten Ayuk yet, or probably not getting him.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, fuck that. Well, we'll get a headline. The Steelers get him. I'll be like, this guy's fucking.
Yeah, rightfully so. If the Patriots ever did too, I would.
Skill doesn't suck. He's just the way he's going about it sucks.
Yeah, this whole thing sucks. What? Duff, didn't you send a video? Day 623 of Brandon Ayuk's free agency. Or not even free agency, whatever.
That would be a funny video to make. Like, you ever see those videos? It's like day 1 of working at or like living here, and then they come back in like they're like 1 week of living in Texas. They're like talking like it.
Yeah,
that would be good to spin that off like the Brandon Ayuk.
Except it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, it just never ends.
Lots of good stuff there out of Pittsburgh. Last point here in the NFL. Last week, we looked at the Offensive Player of the Year, the MVP, and Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball. Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year odds here. TJ Watt leading the board at plus 550. Micah Parsons behind him at plus 600. Max Crosby plus 700. Myles Garrett at plus 800. Nick Bosa 900. And Aiden Hutchinson plus 1,000. All right in the line there. What are you guys thinking for Defensive Player of the Year?
Does Parsons have one yet?
No, he doesn't.
All right, then I'm going to take it. I took it last year, and I think...
Yeah, Parsons at plus 600, I think, has good value. I wouldn't write off TJ Watt either with the way he carries that defense. But I think there's really good value on Aiden Hutchinson at plus 1,000. I think he's
I was just going to say, I'd like to see a little bit higher of a number there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's getting better and better each year. The lines are going to be
people are
even
dick
better
riding the
year.
lines right now. Bleep that one out of the pod, but that's why I think Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, I agree with Mackie. He could make a stance, but maybe that's why the line's so low. Just my thought.
I don't know. Like the drop off from Hutchinson to Chris Jones. Yeah, like I'm not saying Chris Jones is in this picture, but like I don't know. I feel like you could shop this, but I'd like Hutchinson to maybe like 12.
I have him at plus 14 on FanDuel, plus 14 on Bet365.
Yeah, there you go. Now I like it. I do like that. What's TJ Watt on there?
He's as high as plus 750 on FanDuel.
Oh.
I like Micah Parsons. I think he's just due to win one. Like he has to.
I would just take Watt and Parsons and hope Crosby and Garrett don't sneak in there.
Crosby's not on a good enough team to win it, I think.
Here's my long shot one.
So he's not going to get double teamed anymore.
Here's my long shot one. Just changed his name. It's now Josh Hines Allen. I think if that team somehow can steal the AFC South from CJ Stroud, the Jacksonville Jaguars, then I think that he's going to be a big reason why. And I think he's going to have a huge season as he continues to really write his name into the top edge rushers in the league. I think that's my value pick. But I like Micah Parsons to get it done. That's my favorite play right there.
I'm going to go Micah as well.
Ace, we did what were the 3 we did last week? If you know picks, but I think we did Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and MVP. If you have picks that you want to shout out for those.
Yeah, let's run through defense first, and I can give you my quick ones on.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to look at that while we go through this.
Cool. Let's move over to Defensive Rookie of the Year. Excuse me. I'm gonna butcher this name. Latu.
Yeah, I think he's on the Colts.
Okay. Him and Dallas Turner tied for plus 400 to lead the board there. Jared Verse and Byron Murphy at plus 1,000. Terry and Arnold at plus 1,400. And Quinion, I think it's how you say it, Quinion Mitchell at plus 1,500.
Mackie, do you have any picks here?
Maybe Byron Murphy.
I was just looking at. I like Jared Verse and Byron Murphy both right there. 10-1.
I'm not gonna have I'm definitely not gonna have a pick on this. But I don't know. I feel like this year's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it's usually there's like a heavy favorite. Obviously, I like the value on my boy Peyton Wilson's nice if he gets some use, but he's not going to be a starter coming in, so that's a tough one. But Jared Verse, Florida State, now on the Rams, I think he'll get use with the absence of Aaron Donald. I know he's an edge rusher, but I think he's a freak. And then Byron Murphy, is he Minnesota Vikings? Am I correct on that, or Seahawks? I don't know why I can't think of what team.
So it was out west. Mackie, so not to jump the gun on those
Yeah,
He is
offensive
Vikings.
Viking.
offensive player of the year picks, did you go with CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons to win offensive and defensive player of the year?
What did I say for offense? I don't think I said CD.
But you
No,
could
I think
definitely
we
see
both
that
said. I think you said Tyreek Hill, Mackie.
Yeah, I think
because
you
he
did too.
hasn't won one yet.
I said Jamar Chase because I picked Burrow as MVP, and I just kind of like handicapped each other like that.
Yeah, he has to play to do that though.
I think it's really hard to give two players on the same team awards like that.
Yeah, I know, Mackie, but you could hedge your own bets there. You get CeeDee Lamb at plus 1100,
One of
Micah
them-
Parsons
one of
at
them's
plus
gotta-
600, and one of them's
one of
got to
them's
hit.
gotta
Right?
hit.
Like,
Unless we just having a completely underwhelming season, which is
Alrighty.
also possible.
Let's wrap this up here with the comeback player of the year here. Aaron Rodgers leading the board
No.
here at plus 175. Joe
Plus
Burrow at plus
175.
250. Kirk Cousins plus 500. Anthony Richardson at plus 800. Nick Chubb and Sam Darnold at plus 1,000.
There's so
for
many
those top
guys.
six.
There's
Sam
so many
Darnold
names
makes
on
the
this list.
playoffs.
Because so many guys got hurt last year. Give me Burrow.
Give me Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they want to give it to him so
They
bad.
do want to give it to him, but I'll
Jets
take
make
Burrow.
Jets make the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers.
Hot
is
take.
winning
I'm
it.
going to stay with my AFC South picks. Anthony Richardson, if he gets a fully healthy season and that team can make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if he has.
I'm
was-
not high on
statistic.
him.
I was bigger on him last year. That he needs to learn how to slide.
Here's what yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am super high on him, but do I think he can play a full NFL season?
no.
Like I don't
Like Ace, you remember me last year gassing up the Colts and him. I'm not as big on them as I
because
was
he
last
can't
year.
even make it out of one game alive.
Seriously, he gets hurt every game. Every game I bet on the Colts last year, he didn't even play the whole game. And like, thank God they had Minshew coming in because, like, I mean, me
Yeah.
personally, I don't hate Minshew.
Yeah, you're like,
So I'm
all
like,
right,
at
we still have
least-
life. Like there's still life.
Yeah, like, all right, there's still a chance. You know, he has jean shorts on under there, and he's gonna throw for 300 yards. Like,
You know he's giving it his all too. I mean,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't put. I think Anthony Richardson has the potential. I'm not going to put my comeback player of the year in his pocket. I'm going to doubt those Jets as I always do. I have them falling flat on their face because they love to do it. Would Kirk Cousins really be a comeback player of the year if he has a successful season in Atlanta and wins the league? I don't think so. I don't think. Do you guys?
no, I think it's Burrow or Rodgers. If Burrow wins the AFC North, it's gonna be the Bengals. It's gonna be Burrow.
I don't know. They love giving Aaron Rodgers those awards.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the Super Bowls to show for it, so they have to give him all these bullshit ass ones.
So they get him in.
Awesome stuff. The NFL just 1 week away here before the regular season starts. So we will definitely be excited to jump into those games starting next week.
Ace,
Let's
do
jump
you have
through-
your? Do you have your? Do you want
Oh,
to do?
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with CeeDee Lamb on that side of the ball. I think that he literally just got the bag. It's you know what else helps the CeeDee Lamb prospect is the fact that Dak Prescott is going into a contract year. I think Dak Prescott go with the trifecta, Mackie. Go with a Prescott MVP, Lamb Offensive Player of the Year, and Parsons Defensive Player of the Year. And I feel like yeah, I'll tell you what though, those regular season heroes down there in Dallas, they definitely will at least give you a good run for your money up until the last week. They'll be in contention, all of them. I wouldn't go with Dak as my MVP, but I think that I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. It's crazy to pick two from the same team, but I'm going to do it.
That came in second in MVP voting last.
That's what I'm
year, so,
saying.
I
He's
mean,
going to have big stats. I think if there was a time for him to do it, it would be now.
Mackey's gonna take Dak, CD, and Micah, and then he's gonna buy a pair of jean shorts and get his ears pierced too.
And he's gonna start singing that song "Deep in the Heart
I
of
was
Yeah,
just
Texas."
gonna
what's
say-
the song? What's the
I'm gonna
song?
start
Deep
saying
in the
essay, too.
heart of Texas.
That's it.
Yeah. You guys took your MVP picks. Hoff, you said Joe Burrow. Craziness. They're not gonna make the playoffs. I don't think. I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud. I don't think he has a sophomore slump, and I think he lives up to his expectations and has a huge year with that fire offense they put together all around him. I mean, he could throw it to everybody. Schultz, Diggs, Dell is back. They have Nico Collins. They have Joe Mixon. I mean, this team's bound for success, and it's a light division, right? So I think he should have a big year.
Awesome. Good stuff, guys. Out of the NFL here, like I said, week till that starts. But let's jump into some college football here. Georgia Tech defeated number 10 Florida State on Saturday in Ireland in the first game of the college football season. The Seminoles came into the game as a 10.5-point favorite, proceeded to lose outright to unranked Georgia Tech by a score of 24-21 on a game-winning field goal as time expired. Georgia Tech was plus 340 money line at closing. Any thoughts on that game?
I didn't watch too much of it. I did
I
take
actually
Florida
watched
State
it,
in the first half. I watched the first half, and once I knew I was cooked, I thought Florida State would be fine. They weren't they were doing just enough to keep themselves in that game.
DJ
Ace, Mackey,
sucks.
you guys
DJ
watched this.
sucks. I'm
I was
telling
going to say
you.
that was just the story coming out of this game. He's
DJ
not.
ukulele sucks.
He's just a big name because of the Trevor Lawrence hype, like you guys said. But he keeps kicking around, and every time he goes to a new place, they're like, "Oh, it's DJ. It's going to be pretty good." No, he fucking stinks. And their running game couldn't get going that well, and their defense surprisingly gave up too much to that Georgia Tech offense. But it looked like, I mean, you're going to play in what? That was in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good spot for a team to step up and steal a game. We should have seen the writing all over this. That's how you start off the college football season, with a crazy upset like that. But can't believe Florida State couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, and Florida State, like I was telling you guys, they kind of feasted off the Saban retiring. They forget how many Alabama starters they got. This team was supposed to be loaded. It kind of just came down to the play of the quarterback, and it looks like Georgia Tech goes in. I saw something else. Georgia Tech is undefeated in games in Ireland. I think they're 2-0 now. Forget who they beat last time. I think it was the U. It was Miami. It was like another decently big win. So there's something going on with Georgia Tech when they get over there in Ireland. They play some good football. Doesn't matter how much of an underdog they are. Like I said, what a way to start off the college football season. Hope we have another upset to watch on Saturday in Morgantown to kick week 1 off.
Garrett Green, baby.
Heck yeah, college football week 0 has concluded now. Week 1 is officially here. The weekend kicks off the college football season for the rest of the country. Some of the big games in the slate include Penn State at West Virginia, Clemson at Georgia, and Notre Dame at Texas A&M, just to name a few. Huff, which of these do you want me to go through?
Those 3 games.
Those 3 games, copy. Alrighty, here, first one here, Clemson and Georgia is where we're going to start. One of the noon games here, as well as Penn State, West Virginia. Georgia ranked number 1, Clemson ranked 14. Georgia 13.5-point favorite, total 48.5, and Clemson money line at plus 425 for those underdog bettors. What are you guys thinking here for this game coming out of Georgia?
Mackie, what are you thinking here? Have you looked into the slate much for this weekend?
Not this game much, but Georgia's home, correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
it's in Athens.
Yeah, I don't think they're losing the game at home. The 13.5 might be a little sketchy, but I think they take care of that as well. I think Georgia's still going to have their prime defense like they always do. Kirby Smart's going to have them boys going. I think that Clemson, I'd have to see them a little. I don't really know much about Clemson. I'm not going to lie.
They still have Klubnik. They still have some nice people. They still have a running back that I forget his name. I'm blanking on his name. Clemson's going to be a nice team. This is 1 versus 14, so they're starting us out with a banger here. I think this is going to be obviously. There's a good night game with Notre Dame, A&M, but this is going to be a big time game. I am on the Bulldogs. The money's heavy on them, obviously, to win this game. Like you said, they're not going to lose week 1 at home. I'm not even saying that like sarcastically. Like I truly agree. I don't see a situation where they do this. I think this will be another scenario of the SEC little brothering the ACC. People are saying there's a lot of pressure on Dabo Swinney coming into this game. Obviously, the head coach of Clemson. Can he win one of these big games? Can he steal this? I don't like his chances. It's going to be on the next week for the Tigers. I think it's going to be all Bulldogs on Saturday.
I think he just needs to keep it respectable. I don't really think many people expect him to go in and beat number 1 in Athens in week 1. But if he
it's
can
kind of
keep it
like you said, though.
respectable,
Like you have all summer to plan for this game. Like if there's a
Yeah.
game I want to play Georgia, I want to play in week 1.
Well, it's honestly like that was you saw the first drive of both those teams last week. You saw Florida State go down, score the ball like it was nothing. You saw Georgia Tech get the ball back, score the ball like it was nothing. They
Second
had 6
half,
months. They had
the
6 months
exact
to plan
opposite
for those
happened.
drives. Defenses adjust after that, and you saw like, what'd you see, 20 points after that?
Yeah.
So I mean, Clemson can go out there and make a statement right away, but I think they're gonna have to adjust, and Georgia's gonna do a pretty good job adjusting as well. I think Georgia wins this game by 2 scores.
I agree. Are you saying they cover? Or are you saying it could be 10 points?
I think Georgia
You just
covers.
think 2
but
scores?
I think Georgia covers.
Okay, I agree.
It might be
I agree.
close.
Awesome stuff, boys. Next game here, Penn State, West Virginia, also a noon game there on the East Coast. Penn State's the favorite, 8.5 points. I saw it as high as 10.5 points like a week or 2 weeks ago. Total 51.5, and West Virginia money line at plus 240 there. What are you guys thinking about this? Huff and I in attendance for this one. Any thoughts?
I have a stat for this game. Neil Brown is 2-7 against the spread on week 1 games.
That's awful.
With that being said, I do think that West Virginia covers. I think the reverse line movement, there's a lot of money on Penn State. West Virginia's dropped to as low as 7.5. They started at 10.5, like Jesse said. You're going into Mill and Pusk here. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. I think that they cover. I think they keep it close. I think Garrett Green has a very good season this year, and it starts in this game. I'm not high on Drew Aller, but I don't know. I think West Virginia can keep it close. I think it's probably going to be a bit more of a high scoring game too.
I was gonna say I think the scoring will get up there. If West Virginia is gonna play this game how they want to play, it's gonna be a 38-32 crazy high scoring game. I don't know what Jesse, would you say the total was set at?
51.5.
Yeah, like that's high up there. I think it'll be right around there, 31-28, something like that. I love West Virginia with the points here, Mackie. Like you said, there's a lot of money on Penn State coming in this game. The reverse line movement's telling me to slam West Virginia with the points. I would be lying if I said I wasn't going to put a little bit on this plus. I saw 250 money line. I feel like you could find it even a little bit better. I think the home field advantage, everything like you said, coming in for Garrett Green this year. I think this is a huge year for him, and we've seen him in his name in that Heisman picture. I'm really excited for this game on Saturday, and I think if West Virginia plays like they want to play, I know you said Neil Brown. What was it, 2-7 or one? What was it?
7 against the spread.
He's okay. That's not including. That's including schools other than West Virginia. Do you know what he is at West Virginia?
Yeah. No, I don't. Another coach to stay away from is Lane Kiffin. I
Yeah,
think he's 1-6.
yeah.
Something like that.
I love West Virginia in this game. I'm seeing what I can get the point or what I can get the money line at. If it would show me. Oh, this is Thursday. Let's see what the best.
The fact that it's in
price
Morgantown is massive.
Oh yeah, I mean last year West Virginia hung around with them and it was in State College. West Virginia's only gotten better. I wasn't that big on Garrett Green last year. You can get West Virginia plus 268 on the money line. Penn State as low as minus 300, and the best price right now is West Virginia plus 8.5 on FanDuel.
Love that.
Jesse's just sitting here
Tease
listening
it.
to all three of us gas up
Tease
West
it.
Virginia, and he's like,
I'm not uber confident, my boys,
I
but
didn't even think about this kid going to Penn State. That's funny. You're getting
dude, for you, I'd be like,
getting
we're the
fun here.
fucking 8th ranked team in the country. Like,
For what?
How
I'm
can
not-
you be the 8th ranked team in the country with Drew Aller as your starting quarterback? That guy's balls.
that defense is going to be disgusting, and their offensive line is so good. But,
Yeah,
like,
but they don't have
he truly
good
might have
coaches
6
anymore.
seconds to throw every ball, Mackie.
We'll see. Not with that 12th man going.
You're right. Place is going to be packed. It's going to be a great weekend down there in West Virginia. I'm excited. I'm not uber confident about my boys, but I think they can get the job done. Sometimes they do.
I see West Virginia at plus 300 on bet.
These are the kind of games that the Penn State's known for blowing games like this, but they really only blow games to like Ohio State and Michigan. They don't really fuck up on games like this. That's the only thing that scares me.
Alrighty, lots of good stuff there. Let's move to this night game here. Number 7, Notre Dame. Number 20, Texas A&M. Texas A&M's the favorite here. 3 points for them. Total 46.5. Texas A&M money line minus 150. Notre Dame money line plus 125. What are we thinking about this one?
This is my play of the day on Saturday. I love Texas A&M.
Huff. That's carded. That's already carded.
All right, good. There we go. We can release that
Already
now. Let's
started.
lock in. What is it? I'm looking at the best line right now.
3 at 105. You
Minus-
might be able to get 2.5.
That's what I'm hoping for. What time's the game?
7:30 p.m. Saturday.
Minus 2.5, minus 120 on FanDuel. Lock that in as soon as you are hearing this. That is my favorite
Listen, that's
play
a-
of the day on Saturday.
I don't even hate Notre Dame this year. I just think it's a tough place to go into play. It's a night game. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely rocking.
SEC
Give-
at
give
night.
me-
Give me them the cover.
Give me the home team.
Yeah.
Team.
I'm glad. I thought the way you reacted, I thought you were saying you think Notre Dame is going to win this game. I was ready to be like, "What is telling you that?"
No.
I hate betting on Notre Dame, so I like going against them.
What's his name? Marcus Freeman. This is such a game that like they'll be in it. This won't be a blowout. The 2.5. It's not going to be like they're either going to win and cover, or I don't see a scenario where they win and don't cover this. But I think it will be a close game.
I wouldn't say that too quick.
Yeah.
What?
Chill.
a scenario where they win and
All
don't
right.
cover.
All
I
right.
mean,
Yeah, I
these
mean, it's college football.
2.5 point spreads are.
I've seen crazier shit happen. You're right. They do know what they're doing, setting it at 2.5 or whatever, 1.5 when they do it. But give me the Aggies. Give me the -2.5. I think it'll be close till the end, but I think they'll pull it out. There's a couple other good games. There's going to be some bloodbaths. I think Ohio State has a tough matchup against Akron this weekend.
Yeah, tough 49.5 point favorite.
Oregon, it was nice of them to invite Idaho out to Eugene as a 44-point favorite. Michigan, Fresno State. Michigan only a 20.5-point favorite there. For how much I love college football coming back, it doesn't even like this week only counts for the good games that we just talked about. Because for as much as I love college football, I don't love it enough to watch Ohio State score 65 points on Akron. Like it's not that's not an
worth my
entertaining
time.
game. And I'm never gonna bet a -49.5 like really ever. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. What it seems like West Virginia with the points. We're gonna be a little safe. If you want to sprinkle the money line, that's up to you. And Texas A&M.
Good stuff. I'm excited. It's going to be a great college football Saturday, one of many here to start this season. So definitely keep an eye on our Instagram and Twitter for all our picks coming from the boys here this year. Jumping over to the NBA here, Netflix has announced the date of the starting five docuseries following Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis, and I can never say that name right, and Jason Tatum during the 23-24 season. 10-part series will premiere October 9th on Netflix.
I think that's
Netflix is just
I think
doing
that's
everything.
a good list of guys they got for that.
I agree.
Like Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler,
Bron-
kind of like the ex-star that's like not that great anymore.
People love him.
Obviously, LeBron. You have Ant, who's like the young and up-and-comer. Tatum just won. And like Sabonis is just like Mr. Consistent, doesn't have a lot of cameras in his face. Like I think that's a really good cast.
Yeah, Braun and Ant are definitely going to be the two key pieces there. Obviously, Jimmy Butler has a great personality too. I feel like we see so much of Jason Tatum already, but I think he'll be a
Because he
good
wins,
content
dude. He's
as
won.
well. Oh, here we go. I didn't think it was coming from you.
Well, now that he's won, like you can't really.
You know who they should have
replaced?
Hop, you know who they should have replaced Jason Tatum with?
Who?
Nemhart.
Jalen Brown.
With
Wait, what'd
Nemhart.
you say?
With Nemhart, the
Andrew
owner of
Nemhart.
the Madison Square Garden. I don't even know his first name, but I know that he's the best.
Andrew Nemhart.
When he steps foot on that floor, he's the best player in the stadium.
Yeah.
Definitely
I don't know.
not following any of those Knicks.
The one I'd be able to do without would be Jimmy Butler. Like, give me like.
You want someone younger, don't you, Huff?
Really? You'd
I'd rather
Domantas
like
Sabonis?
Shea.
No, like like every show like this has the one guy that like the cameras aren't always in his face. Like he's not really, you know what I mean? Like that's Sabonis in this case. Like when they did the show Quarterback, like that was Mariota. Like no one wanted to see Mariota in that, but at least Sabonis is like an all-star, good player. The one that I would swap out would be Jimmy Butler, maybe like a Donovan Mitchell or like.
People love Jimmy Butler though, Huff.
I know. I don't love Jimmy Butler.
He's a dog, and I don't know. He's got to get his fame somehow.
Even like Bam, I think Bam would have been cool.
Yeah, as a true basketball fan, you'd want to see someone better.
Yeah,
but as a casual, give me Jimmy.
But like
buckets.
he's a character, and he'll give them stuff that they'll be able to make clips out.
Yeah, especially the reactions, and then him doing the emo stuff. I mean,
yeah.
How many memes do you see of Jimmy Butler?
The dreads, the emo one, like
his face when he's always like this.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy buckets. Come on.
Good stuff. Hopefully going to be a good series there coming out on Netflix again October 9th. Moving over to the MLB here. Power rankings here for this week. Coming at number 5, the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 4, the Philadelphia Phillies. Number 3, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Number 2, the New York Yankees. And number 1, the Los Angeles Dodgers. What are we thinking about that?
I mean, it's crazy to see that you have 2 NL West teams in the top 3. Am I the only one? I thought it would only be AL East where you'd see the Yankees and Orioles up high. Now we got the Diamondbacks making their push. They're doing the same thing they did last year where they got hot at the right time. They have a good pitching staff. They have a great lineup. They added to it. People are going to be coming back from injury too. That team is firing on all cylinders. I wouldn't want to see them. Brewers in our list for the first time is kind of cool. The Guardians are out, and now they're tied in their division with the Kansas City Royals. That is something to monitor going into.
I think they're plummeting. I think they could fall out of.
They're not good. They're not good. Like they just overachieved.
They won so many games to start the year.
To
it
say
put them
they're
in a
not
really
good
good
is
spot.
crazy.
No,
It's
no, I know,
162 games for a
They're
reason to keep
good.
pace.
No, they're
They're slumping right now. Don't get me wrong. They're slumping right now, and are there probably 6-7 teams better than them? Yes, but they're a good baseball team. They
They
played
won
100.
enough.
but
I
nobody
think they
in
won enough
100
games.
in the AL. There's nobody you're afraid of. You're afraid of everybody except for the Guardians. Everybody's like, give me the Guardians in the first round, please. I think.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I
And
agree.
look at those Astros turning up now too. They just put up a double-digit 10 spot, and Yordan Alvarez 3 home runs. They're not even playing with Kyle Tucker, and they're just mauling a team you don't want to see in the
The
playoffs.
rest of the division's so weak, though. I mean, it's just all underachieving. The Mariners are a game over 500, and they're in second place right now, 3.5 games out. Astros locked that up. They just got to play
But
500
at
ball the
Mackey,
rest of the
you
way.
know how we said we don't want to see the Guardians in the playoffs here in the AL? I mean, you do want to see the Guardians. How much do you not want to see the Houston Astros if you're anybody
Dude,
there?
I'd rather see the Astros than the Orioles, the Twins right now.
But if
The
you're the
Yankees,
Yankees, who are they saying they don't want to see?
Well, yeah, it's Yankees Astros. Obviously, the Yankees don't want to see
Yeah.
the Astros. But in terms of like other teams right now, I wouldn't want to see the Royals before I saw the Astros.
I don't know though. The Astros just have playoff success, and it's been so evident the last few years. They're so consistent. Scary.
They do show every time they get in. It's like, all right, how'd we let them just sneak in like this?
Yeah,
Like,
like come on. And they're only gonna get better too. They just signed Jason Hayward. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's kind of weird to me, but cool signing.
that's a piece. You'll see him batting in the
Pinch hitting.
ALCS.
Pinch
yeah,
hitting,
like
yeah.
some random. Yeah.
What about the run that Judge and Soto are on though? I mean, these Yankees, they're regular. You talk about regular season heroes. You got the Ravens, you got the Cowboys, you got the 76ers, the Carolina Hurricanes. These teams are insane in the regular season. Their lineup is insane. And what Judge, Soto are doing, I think they had the back-to-back-to-back the other night with Stanton included as well. They're firing all cylinders, but they're going to find a way for the wheels to fall off come playoff time too. It's just inevitable. It's like clockwork. This AL is like clockwork.
I agree that if they're hitting like this, it's hard to say that anyone's going to be able to beat them. But I still am going to stand by. I think we could get Diamondbacks, Phillies in the NL. I'd take the Diamondbacks right now to beat the Dodgers. I don't know if that's still how it lines up.
Stop writing off the Padres. The Padres are off.
I have the Padres
take the
tonight. They
Diamondbacks
hit on the
tonight.
card last night. I like them a lot tonight with Joe Musgrove going against Palante. That's a scary.
Padres ended up hitting last night.
Yeah, they won 7-5.
Wow, they pulled
went
that one
7-1
out of their
yesterday.
ass.
Yep, and that was a plus money play. Wild pitch in the top of the ninth to cash it by the run line, Mackey.
John Manea again beating those Diamondbacks. Those hot Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks are good too. But no, let's talk about the NL a little bit. You guys are writing off the Los Angeles Dodgers way too quickly. Come on now.
Who's writing them off?
Neither of you talked about them. You talked about everybody but them in the NL.
You want to talk about a team that's fallen on their face, like with high expectations? Like, yeah, I'd love seeing the Dodgers lose. So I'm not going to pick them. Like,
but do you think they have a good chance to win the World Series still?
I think if they run into San Diego or Arizona, that's the last two teams they want to see as a
divisional
team in their division.
opponent. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's not a team in the NL you want to run into right now in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Not one.
A lot of them are hot right now. Are the Braves still in the picture? Or are they third team out now?
They're the third wild card. They have 3 games from the Mets.
I feel like the Brewers aren't that scary, but like
no, I don't think the Brewers are scary either. For some reason, they just can't put together, and they have some good pieces. But when you look at the rest of the teams, the thing is they have a bona fide stud, and their lineups are a lot deeper. I think you see the Padres; they have Cease, they have Musgrove, they have a few other guys to round out their rotation. Then you have the Diamondbacks; they have Gallen and Bat.
What happened to you, Darvish?
He's just always hurt. Always hurt. He's on and off the IL. But yeah, talking about those Diamondbacks, their staff, Ryan Nelson's coming into his own. Erod is back in the mix. We know the Dodgers have everybody. They even have Clayton Kershaw back hurling again. That's good to see. Glasnow on the shelf now, but that move for Jack Flaherty at the deadline is paying off dividends. I know he lost last night, but he's a really good pitcher out in the NL. And then these Phillies, though, do you think can they win a World Series anytime soon or no?
I think
they can. They probably not.
I was gonna say I feel kind of the same way. I still think they're gonna get there. I think they'll be in the NLCS, and it just depends how hot of a team they're going up against.
Phillies play great postseason baseball. They're kind of built for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at their lineup. The only thing that scares me is their bullpen is not anything to write home about. Mackie, are our two teams out of the mix completely? Do you think we're both sitting like 3.5 games out, 4 games out?
I don't want to say yes. Just
there's a lot of ball left though.
There's a good amount of ball left,
It
and
takes
we
one. It
play
takes one. It takes one losing streak, and you guys have to win 2 series in a
we
row, and you're in.
we play the Braves coming up. So I mean,
That's massive.
obviously a hard thing to ask for, but you sweep them, and we're sitting right there.
Losing Blackburn is a tough blow, but Lindor's been playing out of his mind lately.
No, it's not. Blackburn sucks. I'm so glad he's on.
Well, you want to see McGill come back up and get back on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I like him. No, I like him too.
If not better.
I like Blackburn. I always thought he would have some success, especially as a back end rotation guy. But the rest of your team, that Lindor is just putting on a season for you guys. JD Martinez is a pretty nice find too, an old head kind of coming along.
He's doing all right.
adding some.
Alonso's kind of picking up a little. Nimmo's been playing good. The other guys, so Tyrone Taylor, Vientos, those guys that you're not thinking about, they're stepping up too. So I mean, the lineup's coming together. It's just we're in a tough race right now. There's 3 teams ahead of us that are really good. So you got to play almost perfect ball the rest of the way out.
Yeah, we got Rafi Devers sitting on the bench right now with some soreness. That's not good. But Jaron Duran's been actually absolutely electric. I know he sat 2 games for the homophobic slur, but that guy's been insane this year. He's played in every other game this season. He was the All-Star Game MVP. He had another leadoff home run every night.
I saw something today last night with his leadoff home run. He's the first player to go like 40.
Yeah, I saw that
30
and 20
home runs.
Yeah,
20
maybe 30 steals, 20 home
10
runs.
triples.
Yeah, something weird.
It's some crazy. It's like a ESPN stat.
But
someone found that.
But
like if no one's done that, that is crazy. He's having a crazy year.
Yeah, and he was really good last year as a big prospect, but he's really putting it all together now. The Red Sox are still a few years away. We have 3 top 20 prospects in AAA just waiting to come up as a group. So when we get Kyle Teal, Roman Anthony, and Marcelo Mayer to the mix, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But it's nice to see them still fighting around. I went to a game the other day, and they ended up getting beat by the D-backs, but it's tough to beat those D-backs, how hot they are. So hopefully we can stick around in the race until a little bit longer. Good news for your Pirates, Huff. You got Jared Jones back in the mix. I saw that.
Yeah, good thing. We just got swept.
Yeah,
good thing.
No, but it's good to see him healthy.
12 games under at this point.
The good thing is he's healthy. Going to be nice for next season. Skeens, we know how good he is.
But I did say I forget what I was talking about with this. I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. If this losing streak kept up and they do continue to just keep losing,
shut him down.
Shelton did say Skeens isn't going to pitch on regular rest the rest of the season. So he's probably going to get a week in between starts, like 7 full days in between starts.
Their prospect pool is ready to go next year too. I'm excited to see them in the coming seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck it, bring up these kids. Like I'd rather them sit Skeens, save Skeens for next year. Bring up Bubba Chandler.
I personally would rather let them develop in the AAA. Sit Skeens, yeah, but let Domingo Germán do the mop-up duty. Don't let your young guys come in to mop up. I think
he had a nice outing the other day for us.
Yeah,
we lost 1-0 in Texas.
Then they threw him into the bullpen and he blows up. It's like just let him stretch him out, let him eat innings to get through the rest of the season. But one last thing, I don't think we have it on our agenda. You guys have you followed that Rookie of the Year race at all in the NL? I mean, Paul Skeens and Jackson Merrill keep going back and forth with the odds. Yeah. Jackson Merrill, I think he's 20 years old. He has three walk-off home runs already this year.
I don't have a ticket on either. Obviously, I'd like to see Skeens win, but you remember when all the hype obviously was with the Skeens Cy Young, and everyone was like, "What did a Beak have it at?"
Like plus 1,400.
It got as low as like
plus 400 before the All-Star game.
Yeah, and now it's at
way up
3,000.
Is it Sale? Is Sale running away with it now?
Yeah, it's Sale or Wheeler.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. Skeens, it's gonna hurt his Rookie of the Year chances if they keep fading. They take him off a regular rest, and then Merrill keeps producing for these Padres or hunting for the playoffs. He's been revitalizing that lineup, and he's hitting right in the heart of it. I think he's gonna take it. So crazy to see, but Skeens just on a tough team.
And situation.
O'Neal Cruz made his first career catch in the outfield today too. Figured I'd let you know.
Yeah, did you see the video the MLB
why did they post
it?
that? Wasn't that funny?
What a catch by O'Neal Cruz.
Why are they being assholes to O'Neal Cruz?
In the world.
They were just clowning O'Neal Cruz.
I did see that.
The caption underneath it made sense. It was like his first catch. Yeah, as a center fielder, blah, blah, blah. But the text on the video was "What a catch by O'Neal Cruz."
I think it's because they're so used to all the highlight reel plays from him. You would just never expect a guy that was that good at fielding to be moved to the outfield. But when you have all the errors like that,
do such a basic thing there. Like it was
the MLB in errors. They had to do.
Yeah, like keep your. I think Ellie De La Cruz is the next superstar to get moved from the infield to the outfield. It's like we need you in the lineup. We love your athleticism. We're going to let you do that in the outfield. We're going to let some bum make a routine ground ball play because you shouldn't be botching that.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff in the MLB though. I like watching this time of the year. We had the sports equinox coming up too. I think I sent that to you guys. What is that, like a month or two away?
It's like week 6 of the NFL season.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I just sent the O'Neal Cruz video. It says, "How did O'Neal catch this?"
Yeah, it's like
with the mind blowing
With
emojis.
a fucking glove, and he's
F8.
played baseball for 20
Yeah.
years.
Like we could.
But he was telling the
probably
dugout,
make
he's
that
like,
catch,
"Yo,
like-
put that one away. I gotta put this ball in a case."
Yeah, yeah. He's like, save that. But all
I
right,
think,
boys.
I think he's like embracing how bad he's been.
Yeah,
this
he's
year,
like-
which is like,
He's like, "Whatever."
yeah, he's like, fuck it. I guess this is what I'm still getting paid.
I'm an
so
outfielder
can't
now.
complain
Maybe
that one. Yeah,
maybe the caption is just them roasting.
Yeah,
him.
literally.
I saw that. I'm so glad you guys brought that up. I was like, is this supposed to be
Me
like
too.
actually?
I was
like-
waiting. I was like, "What? Like, that's not an amazing catch." Like,
Yeah, I was like, this isn't anything hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I want to say about
Yeah, the caption literally says records his first put out and looks like a natural in center.
craziness.
Looks like a natural. It's not going to be a difficult catch. It's not going to look like a difficult catch.
Only one more month, boys, of watching the Oakland Athletics play in Oakland as well. Enjoy it while you can. Nobody else is.
Yeah.
We know where they're going
I'll
yet.
be
They're
losing
in
sleep over
Sacramento
that.
for a little bit,
Sacramento.
and then
That's
they're
right.
in Vegas, right? Yeah. Craziness.
Cool. All right, boys. I think that's everything we got here. Next week begins the NFL season, so make sure you tune into the show and our live streams each week for breakdowns of all the games, breakdowns of our best games, best bets, and all of that. Anything else to add before we get on out of here?
Yeah, make sure you're staying tuned on all social medias. Everything I say every week, the likes, follow, share, subscribe. I will not be present for a live stream this weekend, as we said, me and Jesse will be in Morgantown for Penn State, West Virginia. Going to be getting that tailgate on Saturday morning. Got to get the win for these Mountaineers. Like Ace said, 12th man. West Virginia is going to bring it home. I'm so pumped for this game. College football's back. Next week, football's back. By this our last podcast not talking NFL spreads, NFL totals. I can't wait.
Anytime
It's next
touchdown
week. We
scores,
finally made
baby.
it.
We made it. All right. That's all we got. Thanks for coming out. See you guys next week.